So we are recording. Welcome everyone to this special edition. I haven't actually done a talk specifically for the office or for work actually, because a lot of people at the moment are working from home and they're not sure when they'll go back to the office. Some people have gone back to the office. Some people, their office is their home. So these techniques you'll all be able to use and integrate, wherever you're working from. And I think two of the main things with Qigong practice, I've done yoga, I've done Tai Chi, I haven't done Pilates, but I've done lots of different, lots of Buddhist practices, sitting meditations for hours. And one of the things about this particular style of Qigong, it's actually focused on, rebalancing the body and mind, and it's a self-healing form. So if we do something very simple, often you get the effect from what you're doing, what you're following, because it has the effect in the technique. So don't worry, it might look very simple sometimes, but actually it can also be very effective. I often think the simplest things are the most effective. And I want to just cover tonight three main things. One will be, the first session will be more on de-stressing, opening up the body, if you like, preparing for the day, preparing for work. How do we, if we just wake up and, dash to work and haven't really got our energy together, then sometimes, we start in a tense state. So how can we start in a relaxed way? So to prepare ourselves. Secondly, is how can we stay healthy in the office or work environment, sitting on a chair, things like that. And thirdly, it'll be something about switching off the mind at the end of the day, which we could all do with, I think, so you can sleep better and things like that. And one of the main things with Qigong that inspires me is it really helps us to adapt to any situation. So if we're in a difficult situation, we see the positive or the good in that situation, the lessons in it. Nothing's ever wasted, and it's about adapting to every situation. So in China, the Qigong masters often, to test their practice, they go and practice in the busiest marketplace ever. And, that's just to see how calm they can remain in that environment. Some of the top gurus in Tibet, Ladakh, these countries who I've met, their favorite places is the center of Manhattan, where there's lots of people, lots of vibrant energy. And how can you transform, your emotions? How can you transmute? And how can you adapt to any situation? So thank God, well, I know times are really tough in this country, in the UK, but we do have, national health. We do have, lockdown. We are taken care of to a certain extent. But Qigong is about taking more care of ourselves. So tonight we're going to do that. And what was I going to say? Yes, and then any questions you can put in the chat later, but just follow what I'm doing and I'll explain as well as I can. And we're going to just start. Just one thing I wanted to say, so I don't forget saying it at the end. Yeah, there's going to be I'm offering 10 free slots, half-hour slots. If anyone wants a half-hour session, Qigong complementary session, I'll put the link in, you can book in at the end, and it'll be on the email that I send everybody. So I would say book in as soon as you can. And what else was I going to say? Yes, one thing, I read recently that 86% of people who have a mobile phone check it first thing in the morning. Many people even sleep with it or use it as an alarm clock. I would say just one thing, if you're going to start the day well, number one, don't sleep, with your mobile in your bedroom, certainly not under your pillow to test your sleep. Secondly, don't look at it first thing, because the minute we see a text or email or whatever, WhatsApp, our day has us. I saw a speaker recently, very well-known speaker recently, talk about how, the minute, you give yourself into that, the day has you. You want to have the day. You want to be in control of the day. So start the day in a positive, relaxed way, not checking, the news or anything like that. So let's start together. And I think just follow. If you're less mobile or active, you can do this actually sitting down, even lying down. Any of the Qigong exercises are very easy to follow in this way. So to start with, imagine before work or waking up in the morning, whenever you do this, it's just releasing any stress off the body. The body tends to hold a lot of stress, and I'm sure many of us at home, you know, it builds up, and often you're not really aware of it. So when you do this kind of shaking, you might sense the shoulders a bit heavy, the hips a bit heavy, anything that feels is holding on in the body, we need to release it down to earth. And bend the knees slightly. So this is a very simple Qigong technique. And particularly in winter, it's very good to do the shaking. It's all the energy moving and flowing through the body. So as we practice, I'll explain a little bit. The earth is the heavy element, the yin element. The body, we tend to have a lot of heavy energy around here, clearly, because we think a lot, we're trying to work things out. So when we do this practice, it's like dropping everything to earth. The earth is here to invite all the heaviness, even illness off the body. So we just shake off. And with the hands, quite vigorous, as if you're shaking water off the fingers. Move the fingers. Shake the legs, empty the legs. You put one leg into the earth quite firmly. The other leg you empty. If you're less mobile, you can lean on something. But just sense the leg emptying up to the hip. So we're beginning to empty the body. When the body becomes insubstantial, we go to the other leg, then it has more capacity. So in Qigong, we're clearing the channels, clearing the body from heaven down to earth. Then the energy can flow, and then we're healthy. If the energy is blocked somewhere, that's what a pain is. A pain is just seen as a block of energy. And more serious illness is seen as energy blocked for quite a long time. So if you do good Qigong practice, you will pick up serious illness way before it arrives. So in fact, it should never arrive because you're picking it up early. You deal with it. So hands and fingers, really important that we keep the fingers flexible and just put the hands together like this. Lock the hands, open the space between the fingers, clearing this space like this. Just grip the hands, open, grip the hands, open. All the fingers relate to the internal organs. The fingers relate to the senses, and the hands, I often show the knuckles here relate to the vertebrae. If you have a look, these are your vertebrae here. So let's squeeze the hands, like soften the knuckles. You're softening the vertebrae, infusing the vertebrae with energy, and imagine one hand melting into the other like this. Just hold it, squeeze it. And often if we have things like, you know, arthritis, anything like that, it's just some reflection on the spine and the joints. So you can treat the body, do some rubbing, treat the body through the hands, rubbing the knuckles, and on the inside of the hands, you can see just rubbing quite hard here, cleaning, clearing, outside, and shake the hands. And it's quite normal if the fingers feel a bit painful, quite normal. We're just getting the energy to the fingertips. And if we work a lot on computers, we need to do this even more before starting, during the day, etc. Okay, pause. Pause, sense the effect of the shaking. The body might feel like a bit buzzy, beginning to sink into the earth. The knees just softly bent into the earth. If you straighten the knees, actually, feet parallel, if you can see my feet here, parallel, width of the shoulders. Straighten the knees. Imagine somebody pushing the knees from the back, just softly with their fingers, just very soft. That's what we call a soft bend. Then the energy reaching the feet into the earth. Sense the feet quite heavy into the earth. This is beginning to drop the heavy element down to earth. Then gentle slapping. Slapping is a strengthening practice. Any part of the body that's a bit weak, back of the shoulders, this area tends to literally carry a lot of weight. Shoulders, lower back. A bit harder on the lower back and the bigger joints like the hips. It's like you're waking them up. legs, knees, keep the head looking up if you can. So when you bend down, more strengthening for the legs. So tonight we just go through this quite quickly, but you can always do more as is needed. Okay, pause. Slapping, strengthening. Any area you feel is a bit weak, anything like that, you can always just close the fingers, slap more wherever is needed. Often it tends to be the shoulders or the joints like the elbows, wrists. This is very good for strengthening any part of the body. They usually use it in martial arts a lot, slapping. Close the fingers like this. This is called the tiger's mouth. And then this is the cleansing part, cleansing your whole energy system. The hair from the front to the back, like cleaning the hair to the back, front, lower back, down to the feet, heels, shake off. It's like you're collecting the dust off the surface. Always front to the back. So back of the head, back of the neck, can't go further here, come to the front quickly, lower back, outside of the legs, down to the feet, heels, shake off. Once more. Have a pause. This time we have a pause, sense knees softly bent. We just put the attention on the feet into the earth. You can open the hands, look up, hands come down, facing down to the feet. Just rest the hands as low as they go, as if the hands join the feet. Knees are softly bent. Just close the eyes gently. We sense the feet into the earth. And mentally go down through the feet to the center of the earth. Breathing out from the mouth as if you're breathing through a straw, like breathing all the stuffy air out. In through the nose. Emptying the stuffy air from the body, breathing in fresh air, light. Breathing out for quite a while, maybe 8 to 10 seconds. But if you breathe through the straw, you just feel like you're really emptying the breath gradually. In through the nose, all the fresh air, oxygenating your blood as well. Mentally go to the feet, down to the center of the earth, the energy, then the energy comes back. One more time, center of the feet to the center of the earth. Then reach the center, the energy has to return. One more time, breathing in through the nose, out from the mouth. Feet can feel quite large, solid, heavy. That's all good. They can feel hot or cold. Don't worry, we're exchanging with the earth. We're also absorbing energy from the earth. This kind of standing nourishes the kidneys. The kidneys hold our vital energy in the body. So Qigong is actually helping strengthen your kidneys, lower back, just by standing like this. Energy reaches back to the body, absorbed into the body. Just shake the legs, the hips, arms, shake off. So standing you can do for longer, very beneficial. And there's a whole series of Qigong standing like a tree. And a lot of Qigong practices are practicing in nature, practicing with exchanging energy with a tree, which has a lot of power and can actually help us also with our health and energy. So just a little bit, put the feet a little bit wider than usual, and just imagine like a big bear standing here. These are like the paws of the bear. So this is to open the joints here. Open the joints, which will help when you're working in the office, and it's help to release tension and release energy that's stuck in the arms and the shoulders. So as if you have two big paws here, coming up, coming down. This is opening the elbows. So you drop the elbows, arms float up. Just feel a bit effortless when this happens. Once more, elbows, then the wrists, collapse the wrists. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Drop down. So this for opening the joints a bit here. Now a little bit more on the lower back. This area tends to be where we sit on, especially if we're working on computers a lot. So you can do more slapping with the back of the hands, rubbing with the back of the hands. You can even make a fist, quite good with a fist. You can really wake up the tailbone and this area. This area is we call the Ming Men. It's the gate of life, which actually is really important. The energy comes up through this gate, up the spine. So if it's stuck here and we're sitting on it a lot of the day, energy tends to be blocked. So it's like waking it up, back of the hands rubbing here. Back of the hands rubbing, then pause for a moment, turn the hands, close the fingers and hold the kidneys. The kidneys are either side of the spine, around where my hands are. It's like a little space here, quite soft area, and just keep the fingers closed, holding the kidneys, just standing here for a moment. So this is strengthening the kidneys, infusing the kidneys with energy. You might sense like a warmth. If you're quite visual, imagine the kidneys bright and vibrant, shiny. And you can do this sitting down. You can do this in your chair, in the office, at work. Do this lying down. And start with the back of the hands first, then turn the hands around. So that gathers the energy to the kidneys. Do some rubbing, sense the warmth. And rubbing, and then down. So just to repeat, the back of the hands first, and stay close, turn them quickly, and fingers closed, catches the energy. Back of the neck, you've just, with the back of the hand, the right hand on the back of the neck. Then turn the hand, catch the neck with the palm. Left hand on top. So right hand first, left hand on top. Then just open the neck, back of the neck. This area tends to get quite a lot of stress when sitting in the office. So this way you can lean back, feel this area smooth and strengthening and opening it. Push up to clear any stuck energy. Come closer, hands together, close the fingers, right hand on top, left hand on top. Smooth the back of the neck. Open, push up, come down. One more time. Fingers closed, quite important. Fingers closed, just slip in there. Back of the neck. The other hand, back of the neck. Push up. Okay. Now, without touching the body, we're just going to move the energy through the body. This is actually self-healing form, which we can just go through to give you an idea. Push down to the feet with the energy, come up in front, hands face towards the middle of the chest, and opening the chest from the middle to the horizon. Just feel everything extending to the horizon, as if you can go through the walls of your home. Opening the whole front part. Often the chest tends to be a bit squashed. So coming back again, just feel the fingers attracted to the middle. Open, extend. One more time. Closing, like collapsing everything to the middle, whole body closing up. This time open even further. Feel the arms, the elbows can extend further through the walls. Fingertips can be slightly bent, so you're containing the energy. Then think of the spine extending up to the hands. Look up. Hands into the sky. Feet into the earth. The feet parallel. So energy coming down through the body. We can just stand like this for a while. Sense the fingers into the sky, as if they can dip into the sky. The body extended up, down, left, right. And just keep the arms up. If you feel tired, just hold the hands at the top. Do some stretching, opening. Sometimes the armpits a bit squashed from the workplace, things like that. Hips a bit squashed. So here we're opening up the whole sides of the body. Open again, fingers into the heaven, fingertips separated, then come down the back of the head. This is moving the energy through the body. Come to the front, lower back, through the hips, outside of the legs, bend down, turn, come up the inside. Middle of the chest, open. So we're opening the front part, connecting to heaven, coming down through the outside of the body, down to earth, reorganizing the energy, rebalancing the energy. Let's do 3 more times. And feel the spine opening, softening, more flexible. So this is a very, if you like, it's physical, but also energy movement. Opening the front part and strengthening the structure, the back part, so they can contain the energy at the front. Make it one last time. Then have a pause. Sense the feet into the earth, the knees slightly bent. So as you stand and get used to it, just notice the body more aligned, the head to the hands, head to the feet, left and right more balanced. Energy, the heavy element down, the head possibly a bit emptier, a bit lighter. So always good to pause and sense the effect on the body. Move the fingers. When you move the fingers, become clearer quite quickly. So we're going to do some sitting. So if you have a chair, why not? You can sit and just follow what I do. And actually I'll sit sideways so you can actually see. So when we sit in the office, we tend to sit, on the legs or lean back, and there's lots of very comfortable chairs, I know, in the office, like that help support your back, which is great. But ideally, you want to have the spine straight, ideally. So you want to sit a bit further towards the front. If you can, sit on what we call the sit bones, on the hips here. So when you sit, the feet are flat on the earth, and the tailbone, imagine as if your tailbone is searching for the earth. So you can move your tailbone, just wiggle it like wiggle your hips a little bit and notice the spine extending upwards a bit, as if your head wants to float up a little bit. So this is really good to prepare you for, you know, working at your desk or wherever you're sitting, whatever you're doing, and activate the spine. So remember the tailbone at the back here. You can always do a bit of rubbing, slapping, like wake it up. So even when you're sitting, you can do this. And this one with the hand, you can also do sitting down and just open up the back of the neck, the lower back. So energy comes up the spine, down the front. This is the inner cosmic circulation, it's called. But often if the energy is not coming up, it's not coming down. So internally, our energy is not flowing. So this way, you're opening up the spine and just allow the head to float up slightly. So posture, very important. And every so often, we'll catch ourselves. You'll catch your neck. Chinese call it office neck, collapsing like this. And you can see people with like office neck. So just think of the spine, tailbone. What happens? Then the head aiming up and the spine quite straight. And in an effortless way. Actually, this is the body's structure, healthy structure. The unhealthy structure is our habits. And when we work on the computers, we mentioned earlier about the arms, just check the elbows as soft as possible, the wrists and the shoulders. So as if the spine extending to the hands. If you think of the spine extending to the hands, just allow hands to move a bit, soften up, then you can start working on the keyboard. But just be aware that we're not squashing the elbows, squashing the shoulders. So you could do some cleansing like this, just cleaning off from the arms. This is taking off any tension, smoothing each side, and then ready to work. So that's one thing. And then preparing, like mentally, mental, I love this word I heard recently, mental hygiene. You know, mental hygiene is very important. And how do we, you know, take things mentally at work, you know, around other people, stress, things like that. So, you know, the mind, it's up to us. You know, one thing we can control is the breath. So by using the breath efficiently, we can actually relax the mind, relax the thoughts. So we'll do something around that right now. So even if you're, you know, in a meeting, something like that, or you're stressed, you can use this technique to completely calm the body, calm the emotions, the internal organs. The emotions, you know, all affect the internal organs. So when we're stressed, it will affect things like our digestion, our liver, and the liver is anger, depression, lungs is anxiety. So, you know, with Qigong, when you do the practice, you focus on the health, you're transforming the emotions, and you're helping the whole body and the mind. So let's just do something for the mind first. So you're working, you're a bit frazzled. Okay, just rub the hands together. Clean the face. It's like you're cleaning all the tension off the face. We tend to have sometimes we can call it like a mask, the mask of work, the mask of tension that we take with us. Just clean it off. No need for any of that. Just clean off, shake off. And clean the division between the hair and the face. This division often is what causes things like headaches, lack of inspiration, creativity, because the thoughts, everything is stuck here. So we're just cleaning this division, quite important. Behind the ears. And lift the hair at the back. Just lift it with your knuckles, like lift the hair slightly up as if you're wearing a wig or something. Lift it up, feel the neck uplifted, and this also clears the head. And one of the best ways to clear the mind as well is this cleaning from the front to the back. So earlier we did the whole body. You can do this for parts of the body. So for the head, this is pushing everything to the back. Look up, breathe in deeply, oxygenating the brain, the mind just feel very clear. This is like cleansing and clearing. Okay,